you've got a lot more to do there. So instead of going down, doing a mission, flying away again, you can go down, do a mission, do another mission, do a third mission, and then go to another outpost on the same planet, do some missions there. You have a much more involved experience.
Time sinks can be a big complaint in any game. My latest exclusive video, available to all YouTube channel members, Patreon members, and Twitch subscribers, goes into detail about Star Citizen's worst culprits and why they exist. One of those is quantum travel. The idea of flying millions of kilometers just to run a mission or buy some items can get pretty annoying. Quantum travel and the vast expanses that separate the planetary systems in this game are a choice in design. Limited reinforcements, distinct gameplay options, space for factions, all that jazz. But that doesn't change the fact that traveling so much every time you play can get a bit old. The ultimate goal of the game is to provide enough gameplay on and around each planet for players to stay in one area for hours or days, if not weeks, playing the game continuously. This is why reputation tends to be pretty localized to different companies and planetary governments. But until there are enough points of interest around the game to actually facilitate that gameplay, we're stuck in this period of time with so much traveling around just to get things done. This is why this statement about missions surrounding the new settlements in Pyro is such a big deal. And it's actually something that was introduced at CitizenCon last year that we were hoping to look forward to in Pyro.
Now, as a player, it will mean a lot more to explore and do at any single individual location, with a localized and personal feeling mission types that might see you moving around a single settlement to complete objectives, or doing short hop missions between clusters of settlements on a single planet. So you might head up to a ridge to repair some wind turbines. You could counter an outlaw attack from a neighboring outpost, or on the opposite side, you might be stealing or destroying vehicles for the criminal gang that you're working for.
Besides these improvements to Pyro though, we've also started to see this philosophy of multi-mission locations in the new distribution centers in Stanton. These were introduced in 3.23 and you can try them in-game right now. The selection's not very high, and the experience of running these missions still feels a bit disjointed, as if they're all occurring in a vacuum not really affected by each other. But the ability to get more gameplay at a single location than just one quest is starting to make its way more and more into Star Citizen. Now, what I would like to actually see with these missions though are physical job boards, or a way to take these tasks and missions without using a mobiGlas. This would encourage players to visit these locations themselves more, outposts, cities, and underground facilities. But it would also create a protected bubble of gameplay for the areas, so you wouldn't miss out on a mission to somebody who is still millions of kilometers away just because they saw the mission pop up while flying around in quantum travel. This seems like an especially important point for these frontier systems like Pyro. They're practically abandoned locations. They aren't high-tech settlements partnering up with microtech to deliver the best repair, refuel, and communications experiences. They should have shortages in supplies and abundance in demand, and they should have little repairs and tasks and other small things that they would give out to people at the actual location, not somebody flying past the planet and transition to a jump point. And besides the gameplay aspect of how we can get more of these local missions and tasks inside of points of interest, it also would be great for world building in a place like Pyro or even Nyx if smaller settlements required a more physical presence to accept missions. We all know that mission givers that we used to get back in the early days of 3.0 through about 3.6 will be making a return. These are NPCs that you can meet up with to get specific missions, sometimes even narrative mission chains. They're still available in the game, but they don't run very well because maintenance has been pulled back, I believe, until server meshing is in to make AI run better. But I expect bartenders and other NPCs to offer more interesting dialogue, interactions, and even some quests just like this after server meshing and other fixes can make the backend run better, just as they did in Freelancer. A public or even reputation-gated job board would also offer a great opportunity to make localized gameplay feel properly localized. So for all of you who have been waiting for more congruent and content-filled play sessions, rather than spending half your time flying to a new destination just to pick up a box and fly it across the system again, it looks like the game is finally starting to support the game sessions we've been looking for. Time sinks exist in Star Citizen, but they aren't mandatory given the way the game is being designed. It's just right now, with everything so unfinished, you end up running into these problems a lot. And this change here could make a huge difference to the people who have been waiting to make sure that their gameplay sessions mean more to them than just traveling. Just don't expect them to pay all that well, since the risk isn't very high. Hopefully this spreads across the whole game quickly, but when is anything ever quick? With engineering, repair, and some levels of exploration gameplay starting to make their way into Star Citizen, hopefully we'll start seeing more effort put into these localized, non-competitive gameplay options and missions, especially with these larger settlements and more populated areas that we're getting, besides just the single couple buildings that we've seen so far. And if you'd like to see how progress on that sort of gameplay goes, I tend to lean more into that side of Star Citizen myself, so you can subscribe here if you'd like, or just check back occasionally for the latest. Thanks for checking out this quick news drop. I hope you learned something new in this video, and I'll catch you in the next.